Hey, this is JT. Welcome to the backyard and welcome to Bodyweight Strength. In this video, I'm bringing you guys an updated grocery haul. And this particular grocery haul, I'm going to show you that I was able to purchase 3,000 calories a day, over 230 grams of protein a day, and 7 days worth of food for under $65. I will have the stores that each item came from listed in the video notes, along with exactly what I paid per item. It does require you to do a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease, obviously, but you can eat really good quality food at a very affordable price. Now, I'm focusing on protein with these grocery hauls because protein tends to be very expensive in relation to carbohydrates, right? Beans and rice and whatever else, oatmeal, all that stuff, super cheap. I'm focusing on my grocery hauls on specifically the protein foods, which in my house are going to be your animal-based foods. And so anytime you see me post a grocery haul, if you don't eat animals, there's no need for you to click on the grocery haul because that's what you're going to see. So without further ado, let me get over to the table and break down exactly what I bought. Okay, now getting into the meat and no potatoes of my grocery haul. My family eats carbohydrates, I don't. So I'm the only keto carnivore in my family. So I'm the lone wolf, I'm the black sheep, if you will. They all eat plenty of animal foods, but they also eat carbohydrates, so I do buy them. But for the purpose of these grocery hauls, I'm wanting to demonstrate that with a little bit of effort, you can get very high quality foods at a very affordable price. And so eating high quality animal foods does not have to be expensive. My previous two grocery hauls were both sub $65. The first one, I did 2,000 calories worth of food, and it was for 7 days, under $65. The second one I did was 2,500 calories a day, under $65. And in this one, I squeezed 3,000 calories a day, just a hair under 3,000 calories a day, and 230 plus grams of protein a day, all high quality foods, again, under $65. So from 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day, still make it work. And so I'll go over what I have. Pasture raised eggs, and like I talked about in a previous video, pasture raised hens, there's a big difference between your cage free or free range, which just means the chickens have more space. When it comes to pasture raised, they actually get out into sunlight quite a bit more, raises the vitamin D content of the eggs. With the days getting shorter and winter on the horizon, extra dietary vitamin D is beneficial, especially if you live in a northern climate where you're not going to get much sunlight. I'm lucky enough to live in a part of California where the sun shines almost every day, so that's not really an issue for me. But I do like the taste of pasture raised egg yolks better than the cheaper eggs, so I pay the extra money for them. These were $3 a dozen. There's 3 dozen there. This is land salmon, or grass-fed lamb, and I picked these shoulder. When they cut lamb shoulder at the butcher, what happens is they have some leftover that's kind of an odd shape with a larger bone in it, and so I'll crock pot these, but I got that at $2.50 a pound for, it was about 3 pounds of the lamb shoulder, and then I got the nicely cut lamb shoulder. One of the things that I found is, at least where I live, people prefer beef to lamb, and so I can often find lamb marked down the last day before the sell-by date. So I picked this up. It was on sale at $4.99 a pound, and then I got 30% off of that, so that was $8 for grass-fed lamb. Grass-fed lamb is high in omega-3 content, and I did not find a good deal on grass-fed beef. So what I did is I picked up 3.64 pounds of 80/20 grain-finished ground beef, and this is called market trim. And so for this reason, I suggest that you shop at a grocery store that has a real butcher counter where they actually cut the meat in-house, and then not buy tubed ground beef. You can do that, and if you can get a really, really good value. You can get it super cheap on a price per pound basis. But I talked to the butcher at the store where I buy my stuff, or at least where I bought this. And so he said that tubed beef can be packed way in advance, and that they are allowed to put certain things inside the beef to help preserve it. And so what this is it's called market trim. And what that means is that every morning the butchers get to this supermarket early. And this particular supermarket's Albertsons, which there's Albertsons, Vaughn's, and I think Lucky, or there's another store, and they're all the same corporation, so their meat deals are generally the same across the whole chain. And so what they do is they trim steaks every morning, And then the trimmings from cutting the chuck roast, cutting the sirloin, cutting, the ribeye, whatever, all the scraps get ground into the market trim. So that's what market trim is. That's when I buy grain finished ground beef. If I'm not buying grass-fed ground beef, then market trim is what I get, and that's going to be those fresh trimmings from that day's cuts. Then I've got 2.5 pound packages of uncured bacon, and it is bacon ends and pieces. So they're oddly shaped or ugly pieces of bacon, basically, that don't make the cut to go inside the pretty, that they're not pretty enough to go in the package, essentially. So with those, I was able to get each package for $5. So 2.5 pounds of uncured bacon for $5, which is a phenomenal deal. I don't care if my bacon's ugly, it still tastes like bacon. All right, so that's it for my land animals. And then I've got a 2-pound bag of wild shrimp, and then 1 pound of wild Alaskan sockeye to round out the grocery haul. I value getting additional omega-3s, especially some sea-based omega-3s for the EPA and DHA directly. So that's why I generally try to include seafood. Your mileage may vary, but this whole grocery haul was under $65. And again, 3,000 calories a day, over 230 grams per day of protein, and majority of the ruminant was still grass-fed. And so that just shows you that, at least in America, I know in Canada it's a whole nother story, in Europe I know it's a whole nother story, but if you live in the US and you do a little bit of sleuthing, you can eat really well at a very competitive price. That's all I've got. Now I'm going to get grilling. If you have not subscribed to my channel, hit subscribe, click the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I create new content, and as always, I appreciate your support.